And if we continue to realize just how monstrous these people are, we can defeat them and stop letting them have the fake moral high ground from their palaces. And, you know, you're mentioning the death sentence for over 1 billion people in the third world. Lord Monckton's actuaries and others have proven that. The UN admits it. Over the next decade, if they put any of these in place, they tell the third world at the Copenhagen event 2 years ago, right on the heels of ClimateGate coming out, that, hey, don't worry, we're going to tax the West and give you money. Then they got the treaty, and it was right at double the carbon cuts for them that we would have a total death sentence. I mean, you know, it's annoying if your gas prices go up and, you know, you can barely live. But it's one thing if you're an African on $2 a day or less, this is a death sentence.
Yeah, even innocuous things in UK, they were going to buy local and not have food imported. Who did that affect? Kenyan farmers in Africa rebelled when the UK tried to do this because their livelihood were these fruit exports. So every action has a reaction, and what's most repulsive about the man-made global warming movement is the idea, and this was mentioned by UK scientist Philip Stott, it's a new form of colonialism. It's white wealthy Westerners going into Africa and South America and telling these governments, you can't develop, you can't use your natural resources the way you want to. I interviewed a South African activist a few years ago who said that the developing world should tell the developed world, i.e. the Western world, the United States, to go to hell if they're telling them they can't develop their resources unless Washington and England and France and Germany are willing to bomb their cities and level them back to swamps, wetlands, and forests. We have no business telling Brazil that they can develop their forests, and they've called it in Brazil, they're sitting on a desert of gold because they can't touch their land because of international treaties. Obama has told the international community you can't have coal plants in Africa. They need nuclear in Africa to bring running water.
But China can build.
It's all being stopped.
But China can build 3 new ones a week. We get about 3 a year. And Mark, as you know, Al Gore, Lord Rothschild, Rockefellers, Oprah Winfrey, they're not stupid. When they put these global environmental rules in, they admit it, they're all selectively enforced. The EPA doesn't let new coal plants open that are clean unless it's General Electric. 7 months ago, he gave them a waiver the day the new stuff went into effect. He gives his buddies health care waivers. McDonald's doesn't have to buy it, but a mom and pop does have to buy insurance for their employees, and then they go out of business. So really, it's all just about they say what you can do, how you can live your life, and they selectively enforce however they want. It's nothing but a green mafia, and it's time to recognize them for the Nazis they are. You study the green movement. After Germany fell with Hitler, the eugenicists started the green movement here in the U.S. and England, as you know, Mark, and I've made the film Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement, and they said, we've got to now pose as environmentalist and conservationist so we can take control of society and teach people they're bad so we can have one-child policies. And that's what they've done, and we need to really recognize just how purely wicked and evil these obese, demonic man-bear pigs are. Your comments on that?
Yeah, well, you mentioned Germany, and right now, their German climate advisor, a man named Schellenhuber, is proposing a CO2 budget for every man, woman, and child on the planet, monitored by an international agency. This follows the UK proposal for employees to carry carbon ration cards where the government monitors your air travel, your thermostat, your car mileage. This is beyond what George Orwell envisioned in his novel 1984. You have Nancy Pelosi going to China to warn that we need a complete inventory on every aspect of our lives to fight man-made global warming. They're telling us openly. Al Gore talks about the climate bill being key to forwarding global governance. They want that monitor every aspect of your life, and that is not hyperbole. That is absolute what they're saying, their verbatim message. And what's most frightening is you have Republicans infected by this. You have Mayor Bloomberg in New York, if you can call him a Republican, actually bragging that he's helping with, I think it's the NRDC or one of the environmental groups, stopping hundreds of coal plants from being built in America. Half of our electricity comes from coal, and we're going to be making people die in heat.
No, it's incredible.
Freeze in the winter, and you have people like Chris Christie, who's a Tea Party hero, bragging openly, first of all, that he agrees with Al Gore on man-made global warming, and second of all, that he's stopping all coal plants in New Jersey
Well, that's because it's a big business for them. They know what it's all about. Marc Morano, we want to thank you. And as they continue to squeeze, the resistance is only going to mount. Thanks to you and others, our credibility is exploding. Their credibility is imploding. And Al Gore's reduced to a blubbering, cussing man-bear pig.
Enjoy Al Gore's meltdown. He's earned it. He is a utter and complete failure at this point, and he knows it after spending $300 million.
All right, Marc Morano, we'll talk to you soon. All right, there he goes from ClimateDepot.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to beat these green Nazis. The genetic engineering, all that kind of stuff are serious threats. The toxic waste dumping, that's real. Bisphenol A in the plastics, fluoride in the water, that's all real stuff. I don't want to drink poison. But the people that run the environmental movement, A, keep you away from real issues, and B, it's all about a power grab. Ask yourselves, what are you doing in this time of great challenge? What are you doing to unlock minds?